In this episode of Retro Gaming Night, we go driving with Master Chief.
This is casually hardcore.
Place the game clothing. Game news.
And casually hardcore.
Press start.
Hi there, I'm Mark,
I'm Neil.
and today we're playing Halo on the original Xbox.
Halo is the game that Xbox pushed their first console for. If you've ever played an online shooter or a first-person shooter, the odds are it took something from Halo, it took something from the online shooter world that it created with the original Xbox Live. They tried to copy it. Halo is an absolute classic. Whether or not you're a Sony fanboy or not really into shooters, Halo is absolutely definitive to the shooter franchise. It is a brilliant game, brilliant engine as well. Even now, after all these years, everything works really well in Halo. The guns, the grenades, the melee, the vehicles. There's not many first-person shooters in say that can blend all that into one great game.
And it's probably actually the best Halo still. Halo 2, 3, 4, Reach, whatever you want to call them, have never quite matched the original. So we're going to play Halo in cooperative play. So we're playing the single player game with both of us. With this game you can actually use multiple Xboxes as well, so if you want to play the multiplayer there's 4-player split screen, or there's 16-player multiplayer using the LAN adapters that you could buy at the time. But yeah, we're just going to play the single player campaign just to give you a taste of it. So this game was actually unique at the time for limiting how many weapons you could have. So you can only have 2 weapons at a time on you compared to just having thousands in things like Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, or whatever else at the time.
The Halo franchise to me has always been one of excellence. Story, gameplay, the look of the game, it's always excelled in those areas, and it's always been an absolute complete package as well. As I said earlier, there's nothing about the game that doesn't work really well. The melee works absolutely fine. The vehicles in the game are amazing, and I really think that what made the game so special for that first in the series. I mean, you come out of the spaceship and the drop pod here, and you look out, and you just got this massive environment. Not something that you saw in games like Half-Life, Wolfenstein, Doom, Perfect Dark, anything else that came out before it. And it was just such an amazing game to experience for the first time. And quite an interesting story as well. There's a lot of first-person shooters where people don't really care about the story. But the Spartans in Halo were interesting. There were obviously these super soldiers that were kidnapped as children, and the children are replaced by clones. So these poor parents have got these little kids who are like, come on little Daisy, and let's go play with mummy and daddy. They're kidnapped and replaced by inferior clones that eventually die out. And then the children are taken from birth and are taught to be these super soldiers in these super suits to obviously fight this war against this alien race. And the story was very, very good. Very good. There's a lot of interesting books and a lot of interesting stories, as well as obviously the main games as well. So me and Mark are going to run through the second level here, the first open level at least. We're going to shoot some aliens, shoot some Covenant. I'm running away from that Banshee there, which is doing me a number.
See, I actually prefer the story in this game because it's very subtle in the way it's told. The later games kind of go into a lot of detail with the lore and require you to have read the books and seen the movies and stuff like that. But this one, if you don't care, you get the nice gist of it, of it's humans versus aliens, or there's the bits of detail where you've actually paid attention that just hint at enough without going too overboard.
I'm playing on the bottom screen, and Mark's doing all the heavy work now. I'm just kind of looking around in the environment. I mean, it's been a long time since I played the original Halo, and like as I just mentioned, even lighting effects just look really great.
But it looks fantastic, not just visually, just the world. It's another world look, but it captures it brilliantly. It's not set on Earth, but it's very close. Just the colours they use. There's a lot of pinks and purples in here. Which really just make you feel sort of isolated and on a different planet.
And obviously, you don't just use these human weapons. The aliens are not just alien to you. There's a lot of these alien weapons you can obviously pick up and use against them. So you're getting familiar with the cliche bang bang pew pew shotguns and machine guns and pistols, but then you're picking up all these really interesting weapons like the plasma pistol, which had 2 modes of firing, so you can overcharge the plasma pistol. Obviously this was a favourite for people online. You'd overcharge the plasma pistol, take out shields, pull out your pistol, and then bang, 1 shot to the head, and you've killed an elite, or you've killed a player.
I'm using the favourite weapon, which is the pistol, which is so overpowered in this game, but so much fun to use. You know, there's a lot of tactics in this game. Each sort of race, I guess you'd call them, has different ways they counteract you. So you have the grunts, which basically just cause a lot of mayhem in front of you and distraction, and then the hunters, which actually hunt you. But this game introduced a lot of new ideas and things like the regenerating health. Before that, you was playing a game and hoping you just didn't die before you ended the level. You got the checkpoints, which are now used in every single game going. You know, like I said before, the 2 weapon limit.
It would be a little harsh if there was no checkpoints in the size of these levels. I mean, you still had health packs. You obviously, as you can see, marks on little red health there, but you've got the shield, so you can play very much a hit and run tactic. Like a lot of games like Wolfenstein Doom, you're taking rockets to the face and hoping that your health lasts out and picks up your health care. But I can play as a very much hit and run character here. Run in, shoot, do what I need to do, get out before my shield goes down, and essentially I can survive for a lot longer than normally would do in other games by using these tactics. And again, everything about like these dropships, the Covenant dropships dropping down, dropping in troops. There was a lot of nice little cinematic moments in the game that just made it so amazing. And this is the first hour of the game. This is the first proper level. You're in this. You spent the first level playing this very closed-in space.
With lots of tutorials on how to jump, how to duck, when to change your weapons.
Gonna get that needler.
Which again is probably like a first for one of these games before you just be going, here's a level, enjoy. But this game really sort of, even just picking if you'd like to have your look as Southpaw or not, was all handled in the game in that first level. And to think that this was a launch title for the Xbox, this is what sold the console to everyone. And a few months before launch, it looked very janky. People were wondering why Microsoft were going to launch it, or if it was even going to launch on time, because it didn't look like it was going to work at all.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it had a lot of people following Bungie back from their PC and Mac days, who were interested in this when it was announced as a Mac exclusive originally, and then very upset when Microsoft bought it.
Yeah, I remember the whole, it was originally a Mac game, and obviously the news about that and the information about that. Wow, I mean, Apple and Microsoft are kind of neck and neck now. There's a fight that would be over if this had been an Apple game. I imagine the 4 people that bought it would have been spectacularly happy with this on the Apple machines. Obviously, Apple machines aren't known for their gaming, but this would have changed everything. This would have changed that cliche that we know today. And they're just fun games as well. I mean, the shooting aspects work really well. The multiplayer is fantastic. You've got these very, very open maps, which are built very nicely as well. Very, very well designed maps. You've got maps which are nice and open for the vehicle combat. There's Mark. Boosh! You've got maps with little sneaky areas. So obviously there's sneaky players can sneak around with shotguns, and obviously any close combat weapons they prefer.
And obviously you got the vehicles as well, like the Warthog and the Banshee, which made for some fantastic games like Capture the Flag, where you're grabbing the flag, you got your mate in the Warthog, you jump in the passenger seat, and off you go into the sunset with the flag.
And I remember playing a lot of this on the PC version, a lot of this online. Servers were always massively full, really, really good community. The Halo community is one of the best in gaming. You don't get the kind of really aggressive, antisocial immaturity you get in other shooters. We won't name any names. You know who you are, Call of Duty. But you don't get that in the Halo games. Also, they're very good community. And again, the story. A lot of books. There's always been rumours about movies to Halo. And there's a lot of extended universe in there as well. Some really interesting books as well. Jen Taylor, the voice of Cortana, is working with Microsoft with new phone technology now. I mean, the fact that Microsoft have named an app.
Nice one.
Hey, I'm back alive. The fact they've named one of their applications on a new phone after Cortana, a 10-year-old game character, shows the sort of faith and the way that it's embedded itself into general consensus of the population and modern culture as well. I mean, the Master Chief, people don't really look at him much as a character, they'll look at sort of visual familiarity with Master Chief. But he's very much in modern culture as well. You know, the big green Spartan, one of the only Spartans left in the universe. That's not a spoiler, it's common knowledge by this point. And even in Halo Reach, which is a prequel to very much to Halo, well, it's not really a prequel, it kind of goes on at the same time. He's focused on the story of the Master Chief. Whoa! He's focused on the story of Master Chief. Oh, he just took a grenade to the face. Where did that come from?
Not
from yours?
No, it wasn't from me.
Oh,
No,
come on
of
now.
course not. Would never do that to you.
Oh, you don't believe that? Or say,
But this is another game for me that took many hours of my life with friends just playing multiplayer. You know, doing the single player campaign, playing it on Heroic, Legendary, but for me it was multiplayer.
not an easy game as well, and a game that really showed off some good aspects of AI early on as well. I mean, for example, not this little fella I'm following here.
Yeah, there's a sort of mini game, I guess, in a way of trying to keep the people alive. And every time someone died, you hit the restart checkpoint, go back and try and keep them alive. They help out a bit. There's no real need to keep soldiers alive, but you want to. They have a personality. You want to keep these people alive.
Absolutely. You know, if you're getting into the game as being a soldier fighting this alien menace, look here and missing me and Barry here with his pistol ducking away and firing. You know, you really want to keep them alive. Now, I mean, one of the examples of the enemies here, which is this sneaky little fellow with a shield. Blast away. Again, if I put bullets into him, he's going to take down his shield, but I've got a plasma shot, I can get round his back of him. He's going to be dead. And the AI works in all these different enemies. The grunts here, running away like the little cowards they are. I'm going to run this little fella down. Hey! Get out of here. The jackals, they are going to hide behind these shields that take the bullets, but they've got to get out of there. And if there was any elites around, they would be coming at us to kill us. They'd be using the grunts as cover, they'd be using them in the groups. And it was good AI as well.
You know, I think what people are going to ask now is, Mark, Neil, I want to play this game, what do I need? The answer isn't an original Xbox in this game. It's an Xbox 360 and the anniversary edition of the game. It was a really well done remake. The original game is identical. You can choose back on the fly the original game graphics like this, or the brand new 360 enhanced graphics. What they did to make sure the game plays to perfection, really, is have the original Xbox code running in the background. So all your grenades, all your jumps, all the gravity, everything played identical, and then just overlay brand new graphics on top if you wanted that.
Nice little details in the game as well. I mean, we've obviously got bullets flying at the gun here. The barrels reacting to that, and then if you see a little cursor, a little heads-up display on the gun, it's counting the bullets that are going off. And it's even counting where I'm sort of facing the way of objectives and such. So some nice little touches. And just moments like these. I mean, you've just done a little objective. Other games it would just be level complete. A dropship has come in and dropped off a big car with a big gun on it. And this would still be an hour into the game. You've gone from the cliche closed environment shooter to being in a massive open level and suddenly driving around with a giant minigun on the back. It was absolutely brilliant for its time. And there's not been many shooters, not been many games that have given such a wow effect.
No, even Halo 2 did not match the original for level design. You know, just being able to drive around the levels. You're not even handheld at all. It's basically do whatever you want, and if you take too long, a little icon will appear on the screen saying, "Why don't you come and check out this little area over here?"
No pressure at all. So I mean, we're on the first level where the Pillar of Autumn has come under attack by a heavy column fleet. We've landed on this mysterious Halo ring, which, as Cortana is talking about, is just basically grass, trees, and foliage, but within a giant space structure. But now we're finding these installments and these little bases here, which obviously show that something's been built here and something's been produced in some way. And the story is interesting. The story is a really, really interesting one. because it's set in the middle of this intergalactic war where the Covenant are essentially a bunch of religious fanatics, and they see human as a blight on society, as a really religious society. Mark's on a little cruise around. He's trying to look for some Spartan ladies. I mean, we're going to pick up chicks in a car like this, let's be honest. But all the different races that you see in the Covenant, the jackals, the grunts, the elites, the hunters, they're all different races. And the reason why they're all working together is because they're all religious fanatics and they've been drawn together or enslaved together for this sort of religious conquest, which they're on to take out humanities and anything that doesn't agree with them in the society that they've built. And again, the Halo franchise, if you've got a 360, you've got an Xbox One, or you've ever played on one, it wouldn't be around if it wasn't for this game that we're playing right here. Halo is easily could be in the top 10 best games of all time. It's got to be there in the most influential games of all time. You talk about Super Mario, talk about Tetris. Halo's up there for the first-person shooter.
Definitely. Especially the original. Even now, 10 years later, it's still one of the best first-person shooters out there.
Come on, Mark, gun it. It's Dukes of Hazzard it.
We've got to stop here.
With Dukes of Hazzard to Thelma and Louise. We'll survive with.
And we're back. And that was one of the best things about this game on the brand new console is the hard drive. So levels load instantly after their initial big load. Checkpoints load instantly. This game was only possible because of the hard drive, allowing those instant loads of these huge levels.
You know, the other consoles either had memory cards. Oh, little plasma grenade coming there.
Tiny levels is what you would have got on PS2, GameCube, etc. Because they just couldn't fit these maps into the RAM they had. But instead of watching us play this game Frails on End, which is probably what we're going to spend the rest of the night doing.
Mark's going to drive around, and I'm going to repeatedly Daka people with this massive minigun at the back of the water.
Go and grab yourself an Xbox 360, copy the Anniversary Edition, it's probably very cheap now, and enjoy classic Halo, one of the best games ever made. Did you enjoy that video? Then hit that like button. Why not subscribe as well and get the latest videos, news and competitions? Don't forget to check out casuallyhardcore.com, where you can buy hundreds of video game shirts and geek clothing, or make your own shirts with worldwide shipping also available. Until next time, stay casually hardcore.